have been many great teachers at Holcomb High School throughout the years. Every year at graduation, there is a teacher of the year, voted on by the graduating seniors. The teacher that I will be nominating is not only a wonderful teacher, but goes above and beyond to make sure that his students are getting the most out of his class. I will be nominating Mr. Schreibvogel. When I first met Mr. Schreibvogel, it was the beginning of my sophomore year. We immediately had many things in common, as we both enjoyed Star Wars and nature, among other things. When I met him, I hoped to become a microbiologist after I graduated high school, so I enrolled in anatomy. That class would be taught by Mr. Schreibvogel. I would quickly realize that I did not want to be a microbiologist, and to this day, anatomy is still one of the hardest classes that I have ever taken. Although it was tough, that class taught me many life experiences that will stick with me. It didn't take long for me to realize that he was very persistent in making sure his kids understood the content. At the end of my sophomore year, Mr. Schreibvogel and I had built up a pretty good relationship, and I had heard that he was planning on starting an eco club. This was immediately of interest to me, as I had always enjoyed the outdoors, so I joined. Since the club has started, we have helped recycle trash from the high school, middle school, and elementary school. We also have a pond right outside the whole high school that has gotten very overgrown and nasty in the last few years. In this club, we started to clean it up by pulling out weeds and replacing the rocks that were there before with native plants. This will make the pond look much better and also will help out many of the native species that live around the area. It is safe to say that just through this club alone, Mr. Schreibvogel has had a pretty big impact on our school and our community. As I enter my junior year, I was very excited to be in Mr. Schreibvogel's environmental science class, a class that would not disappoint. Although this class was just as hard as anatomy, I've made many memories throughout the course of it, with it easily being one of my favorite classes throughout my high school career. In this class, he taught us about the environment and how it is all interconnected. It showed how affecting one thing in an ecosystem can tear the whole ecosystem down. Mr. Schreibvogel is also big into saving the environment. Every week he has his environmental class sort recycling. This is a process that I've gotten to be a part of and still am to this day. This experience has taught me to always be considerate of the environment and how you affect it. It is safe to say that Mr. Schreibvogel has had a massive impact on our school, community, and ecosystem, and will continue doing so. Throughout these last 3 years, he has become someone that I look up to and whose opinion I value. He is someone who is always trying to make you a better person, and I am truly grateful for that. The last thing that I'll end with is a quote by Mr. Schreibvogel shared with me and the whole class about why he chose to teach. He said that if he could simply inspire 2 students to go on and become as passionate about the environment as he was, then he would already have left a bigger impact on the earth than had he not taught it all. That is why I think he should win the Teacher of the Year award.